Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the WZ's Coffee Break. We're going to jumpstart your week every Monday moving forward. So thank you for joining us, and I'm privileged to be one of the first ones doing this format. You know, I want you to think about, as we start opening up and we're going back to work, I want you to think over the last 3 months and all the things that kind of sucked, right? Whether it be the shock of we're literally quarantining, we're closing down businesses, we're shutting our office doors, some of us furloughed, some of us laid off, some of us just told to go home and work on whatever comes across and pay cuts and all that stuff. And enough of the negativity, but you kind of get the point, right? We've all had situations over the last few months that didn't go well. And Ed, I'll jump onto your Wolverine look question over there in the comment section. It was time to get rid of what I called the COVID hair, is what I did. And Illinois opened up enough for me to get a haircut. So my wife said those had to go. And as any smart man does, he listens to his wife. So, but thank you for noticing it. As far as what we're talking about in regards to the last 3 months, think about all the people that you're going to be talking to as we're opening back up. And if anybody gets involved in doing any wrongdoing, it's a perfect time, perfect subjects for your rationalizations, because it shows you're human. They experienced similar situations. So it's a great rationalization to use when talking to somebody. So just as a quick reminder, the format of a rationalization, you're going to state it, you're going to story it, you're going to moral it, and then you're going to link it. And I'll give you one. It's a little bit different, but I had last week, we had a windstorm come through, and I had a tree company come looking at my trees. I had some trees dying, and the guy goes, "Oh, this tree right here, it's not safe. We can harness it up, and you might get 4 or 5 more years, but eventually it has to come down." And it's a good 100-year plus tree. It's huge. And 2 hours after this guy left, the windstorm comes through, and it blows off the part that he said would exactly blow off, about a 4-foot diameter and then 40 feet long. And it landed in my yard, landed in my neighbor's yard. Thank goodness it didn't hit any homes or anything else. And so we texted the guy back and said, "Hey, we had this situation occur. It's in my neighbor's yard. Can you help me out? What can you do?" And he says, "I'll come back tomorrow morning." And then I get a bid. And he says, "This whole tree is going to fall." And again, the tree's not going to fall on my house, but it is going to fall on my neighbor's house, one of 2 neighbors back there where it's at. And he goes, "That's going to be expensive if it falls." So we make an agreement, we negotiate, we do everything. And it's all of a sudden $3,000 because this tree is so large. And that's a lot of money. And, I'm trying to save money if my wife gets laid off, if our business, we were trying to save every penny we could, not doing a lot of stuff. And I have to tell you, that $3,000 was a shock. In fact, he's stopping by today to pick up the check. He finished it over the weekend. And, telling my wife, "Gosh, we got to really take it tight over the next few months." And so you can see how these unexpected situations have happened to all of us, especially this year, that really are concerning and make us stressed and make us have to find money. And in a time where it's very hard to find money. And that's why individuals like me come in and have these type of conversations with folks, because you'd never know that unless you sat down and talked to them. And there's your rationalization, right? I kind of talked about it. I gave you the story. I then moraled it, and then I linked it. And folks, it's true stories. True stories. I mean, what a perfect time to look back on what we've all gone through and pull some rationalizations that'll work over the next couple of years. So just a reminder as we get back out there, as we get back interviewing, and I want to say you're welcome to Edward, who just used the chat box there, and you're more than welcome. And thanks for sticking around since 2008. And rationalizations are difficult, but just think of moments in your life where you've experienced something. Remember, the other thing I would tell you, personal opinion, is your rationalizations do not have to be made up stories. They can be true stories that make you look human. They're true stories where a moment in time where it either made you mad or it cost you money. They're easy to remember. And you give them those individuals because they're living life just like you are. So rationalizations do not have to be hard. And as I wrap up today's jump starting of the week and coffee break, I want to remind everyone that Juan is going to be doing every Wednesdays, kind of International Wednesdays. So he'll be doing the same thing in the middle of the week. And I want to thank all of you for joining the first jump start. And WZ is starting to schedule seminars. We're going to be out there again. And I want to thank everyone for attending, and we'll see you again next week here at WZ's Jump Starting Your Week with the Coffee Break. Have a good week, everybody.